Hi there. Welcome back to 72 Sold Arizona Lifestyle Podcast with me, your host, Holly Waxman, realtor with 72 Sold. And I have three special guests today. Adam Dahlberg, my listing partner with 72 Sold.
Hello, Holly.
Hi there. And Sarah Perkins with Navi Title.
Hello.
And of course, Ryan Nelson with Barrett Financial.
Hello.
One of our favorite lenders. I'm so happy all our main crew is here today. And today,
Hi, Ryan.
How's it going? Good to see you.
It's been a minute.
Today, we're going to get right back into business and we're going to share some information about how the market is going. And we're going to make this theme about seasonality because we are in a really unique market right now with interest rates and normally around the Thanksgiving holiday. And I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving with their family and friends, what the real estate market looks like. So, Sarah, if you can share with us some ideas of what you're seeing.
So it's really interesting as we've had a very low inventory year. And as everything has been moving up and down is all based on what has been happening with interest rates. And I know Ryan's got a lot to offer about that because he's talking to the buyers out there that are having to deal with the different interest rates and giving some up and then going in with their higher rates anyhow. So we've seen some movement recently where we've seen some rates have declined. And I also want Ryan to talk a lot about that, but we have seen an increase in contracts because of it. So on a national scale, we've seen last week, it was like a 4% increase in purchase mortgage applications because the interest rates have fallen. We, topped 8. Came down. Now it's below 7.5. And, when things fall down, the buyers want to take advantage of what's out there because they've seen what happens when these interest rates fluctuate. And we've seen 0.5% a day. So last week was a 4% increase. And then the week before that was a 3% increase. And quite frankly, that 3% increase week was with 3 days. It was just 3 business days that saw that increase because that's when we saw our interest rates move. And so we know that the buyers out there are doing their homework. They're watching what's happening. They're not as concerned of like, oh, wait, it's Thanksgiving or here we are 4 weeks before Christmas. They're thinking about, hey, this is going to be what's best for my budget and best for my, kind of what my goals are. And so our seasonal kind of cycles that we see in real estate are not actually reflecting right now.
With that being said, are we seeing more homes on the market right now? Less homes on the market? Where are we at with that type of information?
Our inventory has increased because the interest rates went up in early November. So we are still running really low for overall typical what we would see in any given time in Greater Phoenix, because quite frankly, for a population of over 5 million people, to have 16,000 houses available is very, very low. So it's low. It's increased slightly lately. But as we watch our buyers, if they find something, they're buying it real fast.
Yeah.
So 2 good points there. One is there's a lot of additional people coming into the market as buyers, right? They're getting, mortgage applications have gone up quite significantly. I think 7-8% in the last just couple of weeks, which is good news for sellers. But also we have a window of opportunity, and that window is between now and after the first of the year. I can't tell you how many listings that we have teed up to come on the market in January, between January and February. We probably have about 30 listings that are going to be coming on board,
that's just you.
Our team, we have probably about 30 listings that are going to hit the market. And, that's just to be expected. It's difficult for people that are selling during the holiday season as family and, friends or whoever come out to visit during those times. But also a great opportunity for folks that decide, hey, why don't we kind of get ahead of the crowd and get our house on the market before in the December timeframe. Obviously, it's not going to close until after the new year anyway. But for those folks that are out here visiting, for the people that, are maybe here in Arizona, I think we have, about 22? What was the last number, Sarah, that we looked at? 24% of buyers, home buyers right now in Arizona are outside of Arizona. They're buying homes outside of Arizona. Is it higher than that?
You know what that people who are moving here?
No, the home sales.
Do you have a percentage of where home sales are? Like how
Outside of Arizona.
outside of Arizona or people that are here?
So our second home buyers are about 29%.
29%. So even higher. So 1 out of every 3 homes being sold is to somebody who's either looking to move here permanently or as a secondary home, which means during the holidays is a great time for sellers to get their house on the market before everybody else does the same thing in January, February, but also the most serious buyers are probably here for a window when they're visiting family. So if you want to sell your home, don't get into that mindset of, let's just wait until after Christmas. We'll do it in January. We'll do it in February. Do it now while the folks are here. And, and that's to witness this show that the mortgage applications have gone up. There's people in the market right now. So get ahead of them.
Ryan, what do you have to say about what's happening with the mortgages and what is?
Well, we're finally getting some really good news on the inflation front. The stock market is, as you've seen over the last, couple of weeks, has really rallied since the last Fed meeting. I think we got some final clarity around, the Federal Reserve and their thoughts on, inflation, seeing it slowing. But what really kind of quelled the markets and has given everyone a lot of comfort is the fact that they don't believe the Federal Reserve is going to hike any longer. They think, yeah, it's great news. And you've seen the 10-year bond, yields really fall because of that. 30 days ago, we were almost at 5% on the 10-year bond, and it's been a really unprecedented, rise on what's happened over the last couple of years, and especially in the last 18 months. With the Federal Reserve trying to slow down inflation. So, the market has really embraced that. We've seen the 10-year bond, today it's down again. So it's sitting at 4.26. And how that translates and corresponds into interest rates and people buying and selling. If you're selling a home, most people are buying something else. We see a lot of people that have a tremendous amount of equity and are downsizing. But I see that in general, but you do have, a really good environment right now where rates are starting to come down, and we're seeing, rates as high as 8%, literally 60 days ago, now under 7%. And, the conventional loans are sitting right around 7%. FHA, it's right around 6.5%. And it seems to just be getting better and better with, some of the news and a much needed reprieve that we've had from all the fear in the marketplace with, the Federal Reserve and their continual mission to bring down inflation to that 2% number. And we're not there, but we are seeing a dramatic slowdown in the rate of inflation and expectations really being exceeded on the slowdown. So it's some huge positive momentum we got right now. I think that's going to carry into next year. Everyone talks about, an election year and rates going down. Really doesn't correlate, but I do think we are going to continue to start to see some, more relief, but we're headed in the right direction. It is exciting. And it's one of the exact reasons, like Sarah was saying, that we are seeing mortgage applications up, really stronger numbers. I think that's going to continue. And, really the times are now. We're still seeing people giving seller concessions. The more rates come down, the tougher that's going to be to get into a home without any concessions. But rates are definitely helping, and affordability is becoming easier for people now with lower rates. So it's exciting times.
That's great news. And pretty much that mortgage rate, I remember when my parents bought a home back in Arizona, that must have been, I don't know, almost 30 years ago. The mortgage rate was about the same as it is now.
Yeah, it's exciting times, and it's definitely a great time to be buying or selling right now, because you are going to see activity pick up as rates continue with that positive momentum and downtrend.
We're already seeing a reflection of that in our daily listings under contract, because it has picked up, as well as any potential price reductions. This is the time of year that you see more price reductions, not fewer price reductions. And we're seeing fewer price reductions because there are more buyers out there than there are sellers.
Interesting.
Yeah. And, and I'll tell you, that goes to, making the point that if you do need to sell, you have to make sure you price your home appropriately coming out of the gate. Thinking that you can just ask whatever you want for a home, and there's going to be a buyer out there for it is just not translating today, especially with the higher interest rates. People want, they want that $1 million home, and they're paying $1 million mortgage payments on those things. And they're just not there when like they were, a year and a half, 2 years ago. A monthly payment nowadays, for just, hey there, sir. Thousands of dollars more than they would have paid, just when they probably first started on their journey, translates in them being a little bit more picky. And so you have to price your home appropriately. You have to make sure that your house looks great. And you need a good agent by your side to kind of guide you along and make sure that they're, showing you how to properly set yourself up for success. So, make sure you're getting in line with somebody like Holly, for example.
And Adam, it's like the negotiation skills and the team effort that we provide that really makes us, I believe, have home runs. And what I love being a realtor for over 20 some years, I used to feel like a lone ranger, and now being with 72 Sold and Hague Partners, we really are collaborating with the best of the best and sharing what's really happening out in the streets and in the communities and with different clients that we have. So that's really valuable. And
yeah. So what is happening out there in the streets? What's going on in Arizona? I mean, it's a beautiful day out here. I know we're going into December here in just a day or two. And boy, could you ask for just a better place to be? Here in downtown Scottsdale, people walking around, they got t-shirts on. I saw a guy in shorts and flip-flops. I go, mercy, December, you wearing flip-flops? Are you kidding me? But that's what's going on out here. And
hiking,
tons of hiking. This is the perfect place to live. And I'll tell you, it's still cheaper than a lot of other places in this country. A little bit more expensive than some of the more rural areas, but look at everything that we have to offer here in AZ. Are you sticking around town for Christmas, or are you going out of town? You going back home to Chicago?
I am thinking I'll be here for Christmas, but the last weekend, my friend Amy was in town from Chicago, and we went to the Botanical Gardens, which was amazing. They had a wonderful light exhibit, and then they had different areas in there where they had music and festivities, and then there's a really nice restaurant there. And there's lots of botanical gardens in many cities, but here I thought were really spectacular because the weather was nice, and you're in the mountains.
How about you, Ryan? You taking the kids out to the beach?
No, I'm just going to really stay local and enjoy the weather.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Arizona has some of the neatest Christmas light displays ever. Have you seen that one that they have over at in Tempe? What's that hotel right there off the mountain? What's it called? The Tempe Buttes? Is that what's called? The Buttes? That huge where you drive through in your car. They have all those. That's like 5 million lights or something. No, right off the 10 there in Broadway. Yeah. So they have this huge parking lot. It's the baseball stadium. They do a lot of spring training there, and they do this it's like a drive-through Christmas light display, and you just drive your car through. And I think there's, a couple million Christmas lights or something. They set it up for like months at a time. It's fantastic.
What do you do with your kids for Christmas, Sarah?
They get lots of too many presents, and we stay here, and all the grandparents come here, and there's a lot of people in my house. Like a lot of people in my house, and it usually gets cleaned by February.
It sounds like you've got some lucky kids there.
I want to just add one thing about the Botanic Gardens. So in Chicago, it's the Botanical Gardens. Here, it's the Botanic Gardens. And being from Chicago, Holly and I grew up like 3 miles from each other. And so the Chicago Botanical Gardens there's a lot of like Chicago pride. People get, they like it, right? They think nothing's better.
Right.
So you come out here, and the Desert Botanic Gardens here, there's so much conservation. There's a whole big butterfly exhibit that does they have like 10 million butterflies or 1,000, but it has a lot of butterflies. There's all these different things that they do for the animals that are in there and the conservation. And it definitely rivals the Chicago Botanical Gardens.
Terrific. And the other thing that I did with Amy while she was here was we toured the Frank Lloyd Wright. I know we talked about it quite a few times, but we toured the whole home there in the facility, and it was really amazing. It's definitely another great place to check out and visit and learn about.
And I'm sure your phone was ringing off the hook that entire weekend, right?
Right.
Out walking around and phone going crazy, selling
Normal
houses.
life for us.
Yeah.
What do you see with the market? Sellers and
Yeah, we're getting a good number of people reaching out, inquiring about getting their home ready to rock and roll and get it on the market. Stressing to them, hey, let's like I had mentioned, let's get this kind of going now. Again, there's a lot of folks that want to wait. Understandably, I get it, but again, remember, if you do wait, you're coming onto the scene with everybody else. So if you're planning on selling in January, February, let's get the ball rolling now. We can at least put this thing in the coming soon. We do have buyers in waiting. So one thing I'm seeing right now is we've been, contacted by a handful of people who just want to know what we have, what's out there. There's a lot of things you have to realize. If you're going on these public sites like Zillow or, realtor.com, a lot of times you're not seeing everything that's fully available. When you work with our buyer team, first of all, there's no charge to you as a buyer. There's really no fee to you. So it doesn't make sense not to have access to an agent that you can work alongside. But what our team does is it's a very aggressive, very active search for you. Most buyer agents that I see out there are standby agents. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way, but I kind of do in the sense of it's a very easy job on the front end because buyers have access to things like Zillow, let's say, for example. Let's just use the big name in the room, right? So Zillow, you can go on there, you can search your neighborhood, you can set up searches. But they only have a fraction of really what's available. With a proper agent and a proper buyer team, we're going into the MLS. We're looking at for sale by owner sites. We're looking at soon to come to market, what we call coming soon homes, recently expired homes, maybe even recently canceled homes. So you want to make sure you're working with somebody who you can really trust. You can work with them one-on-one to find out what your needs are, what you're looking for in a home, and then they can go and do an extensive search for you because those public sites are only going to give you a small percentage of what's currently active on the market, not necessarily. And there's a lot of things that you want that you just can't search for. You want white cabinets. There's no search function in Zillow for that. I don't even know if there's a search function for a pool or not a pool, but if there's certain things and certain criteria you're looking for in a home, make sure you get with somebody who's not just going to stand by and have you tell them as a buyer, well, these are the 5 homes that I saw on Zillow. And Zillow, they've gotten better, but they're not the most up to date as well. So, maybe you want to see 5 homes next Saturday. Well, 2 or 3 of those might already be under contract or coming, have sold or whatever, or canceled. So work one-on-one with an agent who can provide you exactly what you're looking for. And that's what we do. On the sell side, we have an 8-day process where we can, get your house on the market and kind of give you an expectation of what the market looks like in as little as 8 days and possibly even get it sold in that amount of time. And we can do the same thing on the buy side. We can find you that perfect home and get you into it in less than 8 days. So it could take you weeks or months on your own. It could take you just as long, if not longer, from a standby agent. But working with Holly, myself, the other agents over at 72, we're going to get you there and get you into homes in just as little as a week. And you're going to find that perfect home in such a short amount of time. It's going to blow your mind. And it might not even be a home that's on the market, be a home that's coming soon or within our own inventory. And it's a little side door into what's available to you that might not be available to the public yet. So,
and just to say that 72 sold is great, but as being a premier agent with Zillow, I do think that working with us as agents here at 72, Adam and I are really people and skilled people to help you and look at everybody as an individual and be able to really exceed your expectations and make the process as fun. We're so happy to have Sarah here again with us. So what other ideas or information do you want to tell us about we should know about the real estate market and trends and things like that?
Well, what we can for sure talk about in Greater Phoenix is we have a lot of jobs, we have a lot of great schools, and we have people moving here and we have the demand. So people want to be here. There's a lot of competition for coming out here, both for rentals and for purchasing. And so anybody who's interested in talking about real estate, like it's happening so fast, and our population just continues to grow. And if you kind of even read about a lot of the trends of what's happening, because our coasts have gotten so expensive, a lot of people are looking to the Mountain West to relocate, and people want to be here because we have an awesome lifestyle and really good jobs.
Well, once again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. And first, thank Adam, Sarah, and Ryan. And please feel comfortable to reach out to Adam and I or Ryan anytime. We're here to help you. And once again, thanks for joining us. And bye for now.